Started playing fiddle when I was like 9 and came here quite a lot as a kid to one of the weekend projects they had on, the Folk Works. So when I saw that Artist in Residence was open, I was really, really excited and I thought, oh my God, that would be the dream. I almost consider it like a second home, the Glasshouse. I've had so many like happy music experiences here and I knew that the support would be amazing just to kind of like have the freedom to create. It gave us the luxury of time and space to just explore and create something that wouldn't have existed otherwise.
So the projects that we've been working on with Frankie Archer, Nat Sharp and Simeon Soden, aka ACO, when they joined us in September 2024, the projects that they set out to work on were to build their skill set. So all 3 projects are completely different, but they've had 9 to 10 months to develop those ideas and now they're putting them into practice, bringing in audiences. One of the things that we've tried to do here is create a place where artists feel inspired, supported and looked after in a way where it gives them freedom for creativity and to try and convince artists to stick around here in the North East and not feel like they have to move away. And that's something that we're working towards.
Yeah, I fell in love with trad music, then discovered electronic music. Now it's all kind of like exploded together and that's what I do at the minute. What I find myself kind of gravitating towards a lot of the time is stories about women and from women, and there's lots of parallels that you find in a story that's 300 years old and something that you might see playing out today. So when I find the same kind of behaviours or ideas or themes in really old traditional music that really resonate now, that's kind of what I'm drawn to. So the project is a bit weird. It's kind of interactive music based on kind of touch or like how close you can be with another human. So I'd already been doing a tiny bit of interactive stuff in my gigs and I wanted to just take that and run with it and just have a full-on interactive, like experimental experience basically. Not a gig so that it's me performing and you sitting there and consuming the music, but everybody's creating the music, everybody's changing what's going on in the room. So this one's like quick hits. So normally if you do like a boop, and then hopefully, let's see, if you touch hands. So that's the longer notes that you're making there. Might have to make like a massive circle but split in the middle, yeah. And then if you touch, so it's going through everybody's bodies now. So the signal's travelling through everyone.
So we started with an idea in September and then we worked to support them in terms of, first of all, researching that idea. So getting them to work with Newcastle University, work with Proto, kind of play around with different ideas and different elements, because obviously they come with a seed or they come with a project that's at a certain point, but we want to elevate that and work with them to get to that next step. And then from then on, it's then looking at how we can move it from an idea into a physical space. So is that a sharing in stage 2? How does that work? How do audiences interact with that? So we're really there to help with the process of that and getting their idea from paper to actually into the building and then presenting that to audiences.
My name's Natalie Sharp. My artist name is Nat Sharp. I would describe myself as an octopus artist or a janitor of art or maybe like an anti-disciplinary artist. I work with lots of different mediums and they all kind of cross over. It kind of started out predominantly as sound and music, but it's moved more into a sort of a 360 which kind of incorporates all of the senses. So this iteration of Spume is to do with the concept of lying down on the seabed itself. This has all come about from a point of having lived with chronic pain and disability for most of my life. This project is about all bodies lying down together in order to experience sight and sound and magic unfurl around them. everything is connected. Like I really truly believe that, and I don't just mean like humans, I mean literally all the molecules, particles, everything in this perceived universe that we're in is inherently connected, and I wanted to bring everything back to that state, so we're not thinking about what we're going to have for our dinner or what pet that we need to feed when we get home. We're all in this present connected state with each other in this big algae ecological seabed. Newcastle Uni have been amazing. I've been able to go down to the marine engineering unit, and I got some like really amazing sensory understanding of like how oceans work, because they've got giant oceans in a tub there. They can test different kinds of waves and the way that propellers move in water, and that was all really, really useful. Another big element that we've developed for this version of Spume is to have these glass buoys that are floating above your head, so as you're lying on the seabed you see these glass buoys. And another partner that's ended up becoming part of it is the Sunderland Glass Centre as well. They've been an absolute joy to collaborate with, just such deep magical knowledge of like how glass is made. I'm hoping that I can kind of carry on with those peers and those networks and, you know, do more things with them.
I think in the creative world, we're very much looking at expanding into those digital spaces. And I think in terms of creativity and kind of the digital world, fusing those two together and seeing what we can create from that point. I think it's really important that we're in a space now in 2025 where these two things can work together and they can create something incredible. And that's what we're trying to allow the artists to play with, but also for the audience to experience as well.
I think ACO, like, it's kind of rooted in things like IDM and dance music and stuff. It's kind of progressed as things do, and these days it's largely influenced by things like vaporwave. Also kind of interested in exploring obsolescence and using obsolete technology. So this project's been looking at, well, primarily looking at AI, our developing relationship with it. I guess the thing with AI is lots of people kind of have very valid concerns that it might replace human artists or human work, and that's kind of one of the things this album's about, is exploring how we can use AI as a tool, as part of a broader process rather than being the whole process. So it's you know, expensive and time-consuming to make music, but also you don't make a huge return on it. It becomes a challenging thing to sustain. So this has allowed me to carve out a certain amount of time every month to just work on new music, which has been super valuable. Proto managed to organise me to be able to use their studio for a day. So they've got this crazy media production studio with huge LED walls, which just like I just thought was super inspiring, because like I do a lot of stuff with screens and TVs and all that sort of stuff. Also, it's been good just to talk to the people from the artist development team who've been really good to bounce ideas off and encouraging, obviously, and also get a bit of feedback on as it's been going through. So the end result was an album and accompanying visuals that go with the album, which essentially articulate discussion, I guess it would be, of AI. And so the album covers various themes. It covers AI in warfare, covers AI economics.
Bringing AI into the realm of warfare through the use of AI-enabled autonomous weapon systems could revolutionize defense technology and is one of the most controversial uses of AI today.
You know, kind of figuring out the AI landscape and the kind of whys and wherefores of all that, and then learning some stuff in TensorFlow and in Python, you know, has also been super helpful, and definitely something I'll carry forward. Because the thing is with AI, the cat is out of the bag, it's not going anywhere. People use it every day without even thinking about it in your Google search results. We have to figure out what we're going to do with it and how we're going to use it fairly, I guess. And I think, kind of going back to the earlier question, that was one of the aims of the project, was really to kind of take a seat at the table in discussion for musicians, basically, because if people don't start using technology and having a say on it, then it's going to be guided by other people, and I just don't think that's going to be particularly helpful for musicians and people who make music and people who work in creative industries. So that was kind of one of the other reasons why I was interested in pursuing the project.
It's really important that the Glasshouse works with North East artists through different points in their career. So whether that's through a live opportunity, whether that's through a workshop, we need to make sure that careers are sustainable up here in music.
It's been so beautiful to be based in Gateshead for this. I live just down the road. My soul is happy here in this part of the world, and to be able to kind of let this project blossom at home on my doorstep with all these amazing local institutions is really, really special.
I got hard on me.